Well, hello everybody and welcome to the Cutler Coast. Today I will be backpacking along a magnificent coastline and with any luck finding a beautiful spot to spend the night. I'm also testing out some new gear on this trip, mainly the Summit Ultralight XR sleeping pad, as well as the Neve Gear Warata quilt. So we'll talk about that a little bit more when I get to camp. But I just had a long drive. I'm ready to stretch my legs and get moving. So let's get out there. So all in today, 26 pounds. One thing to note is there's no reliable water on this whole trail. You could do it as a loop or you could do it as an out and back. I have some water sources marked from the last time I was here. Early spring, you could probably roll the dice and get away with not carrying as much and filtering as you go. But I've rolled the dice before, not here, and it's not fun when it doesn't work out. So I've got about 8 pounds of water. That should definitely get me through just an overnight. And if I find any, well, that would be great. I could just always camel up and bring some more to camp. So you can see all these bog bridges here are here for a reason, and there's no water. So it's been unseasonably warm the last couple days. 87 degrees out here in Maine before Memorial Day. That's pretty toasty. Today it's only supposed to be like, what, 56? Drop down into the low 40s tonight, 41, 42. So a little bit better weather, which might be nice to keep the bugs away, but yeah, as far as scoring water, it really is going to be hit or miss, which is why I choose to carry what I need. Also, just had another hiker tell me they heard a snort out here in the woods, which I mean, I don't know, you hear a lot of noises in the woods, especially if you're alone, but I feel like if it was something big, whether it was a moose or a bear, you would hear the twigs or the sticks breaking. These animals aren't quiet when they move, at least from my experience. So I'm just gonna keep talking to myself out here while I get through this little area and let everything know that I'm coming through. You know what scares me the most out here? Grouse. Grouse get me every time. So this area is definitely prone to blowdowns. And it actually looks like they've done some trail maintenance out here. Looks pretty good. Cleared a lot of dead wood. I mean, look at this whole section here. Just lots of blowdowns, probably block this trail after the winter. So if I'm not mistaken, there's 5 designated campsites out here. They're all first come, first serve. So I checked the trail log when I first got here, and it looks like everybody that was staying here was only staying for one night, and they showed up yesterday. So we should have our pick. I've got one in mind that I'd like to go to, but I also want to check out another one. So I know we're getting close to the coast now. Things are going to start to open up here real soon. So we're going to hike all along this coastline and then end up making home for the night out on one of those peninsulas. This is where the fun begins. Wow, look at that. It almost looks like, I don't know, the tree died, but you can still see all the root system and the moss in the shape of the rock that it was encompassing. That's wild. We gotta check this out. This place is just so incredible. And even though we're not climbing any mountains here today, you'd think we're following the coast, this path would be relatively flat, and for the most part it is. But with each of these outcroppings that we go over, we're gaining elevation and then losing it, and then picking it back up again, and then giving it back. So throughout the whole trail here, I don't know, we got to put in probably over 1,000. But it's just, trail's dry, weather's perfect. May have underestimated the bug situation just by a smidge. I thought because the temps were going to be a little bit lower, we weren't going to have any problems, but there's enough of a breeze that anytime they come through, they get blown right out. And with temps tonight dropping down to 42, shouldn't have any issues with bugs at those temperatures. God, what a beautiful day. So I just stumbled across one campsite right here, and this is probably the worst one that we'll see out here today. But I mean, there is even a little small pool of water. We're definitely not going to take this one though. We're going to keep exploring. So this is one of the water sources I had marked from my last trip. Glad I didn't count on that. I mean, it's doable, but we ain't dying yet. Just look at this enchanted trail. Hiking all along the greens. Massive ocean on the other side of you. Well, I guess this is as good a spot as any to chill out, have a snack, and put on some sunscreen. This is by far the best way that I've found to carry sunscreen. Contact lens container. That's kind of where we started today. Or not where we started, where our first viewpoint of the coast was. These guys working hard, enjoying their beautiful weather. So this is the other water source that I had marked. That's 2 years now where this has been flowing in spring. So that's good to know. I think what I'm gonna do here is just chug some water, filter a little bit, and then I'll be plenty stocked up for the night. So we've definitely come away from the coast a little bit here. Looks like we're just kind of making this loop, and then we're going to kind of shoot out towards the ferry head campsites. This area is definitely a little bit more overgrown, but it's dry. If this was wet, it would be a little bit of a mud pit. There's not nearly as many boardwalks as there was in the beginning. It's funny, the bugs were starting to get a little bit nasty. I definitely underestimated the bugs, but as soon as a small breeze picks up, they're gone. So I think where I'm going to shoot for tonight is somewhere that has a little bit of rise, a little bit of elevation, and that should allow me just to catch a little bit of a breeze and give me some peace, maybe some nice chilling in the hammock tonight. But yeah, we're working our way through the woods here. That's another water source that I had marked. Springtime. I still don't think I would bank on it, but it'd be a safe bet at this point. Right on top of a beautiful campsite. Although they do ask, or the rules and regulations state no more than 6 at a campsite, but this campsite's massive. They also state no fires. But gosh, this is tough to beat, but I think we're still gonna be able to beat it. I mean, look, you got your own beach. This spot is so nice. As hard as it is to pass it up, I think I'm gonna continue on. I've got something else in mind for tonight. I'm not sure if this is a designated campsite or if this is just like, I don't know the right word for it. A shrine of some sort. Yeah, we're gonna leave that one alone. Imagine the storms this place must see. I mean, this is like a tree graveyard out here. The amount of blowdowns, pretty wild. And I mean, you've got to think, there's no harbor over here. Canada, we're gonna see Canada. I've been looking at Grand Manan Island this whole trek. There's nothing out there. Pretty insane. So yeah, the place must get battered by storms. So that's not the campsite I was headed for, but I haven't checked this one out yet. So let's go see what that's all about. This is a pretty good view. I could get down with this for tonight. but let's check out the actual camp. Man, everybody's having fires out here. Did they change the regulations, or are people just doing whatever they want? Not too shabby, not too shabby. It's not for me though. Let's keep searching. What I do like about that is it's way off the trail. But I mean, it's middle of May. Don't anticipate anybody coming out here and crashing my campsite. Although, real quick, so the first time I came here, I think it was a Wednesday, I hike all the way out to my spot. I get set up. You know, I check the trail log before I started on the trail. There's nobody, not a single person out here. I get to my campsite. This kid shows up and plops his bag down. I'm like, man, what's up with this? We're the only two people in God knows how many square miles, and we're gonna camp 20 feet away from each other? Turns out he was super chill. I was definitely a little confused. Anyway, look at this trail. Yeah, check out those jagged rocks. Those are so cool. Now these steps look familiar. This might just be home tonight. Yeah. We are claiming this spot right here. Oh, it's all that damn water. Nice flat spot right here. Two nice hammock trees. Good breeze coming through here. Sounds of the waves, access to rocks. That's the spot. Is it perfect? No. But it gets the job done. Oh man, I've got to replenish some calories, rehydrate, and then we'll set up camp. I mean, it's early, it's 12:41. Got so much time to chill out and explore. There's so many cool little spots we're gonna hang out at, and I'll talk about my plans for this afternoon. But first things first, I gotta eat. Here, you can set this up. So this is one of the new pieces of gear I'm trying tonight, the Summit Ultralight XR sleeping pad. Normally I use the Nemo tensor all season in a long wide. This I opted to go for the regular, just to try to maximize the weight savings. Even though that other pad is super lightweight, it's super comfortable, I know exactly how it works, I get a great night's sleep on it. A lot of the times when I'm out here in the backcountry, I am not camping anywhere near water. Similar to today, I find myself always finding spots that have no water. Probably because I like to go where the people aren't. But anyway, I'm trying to shave weight where I can. So I went with this in the regular version. I'm 6'2", 175, and this is just enough as far as thickness, 2.5-inch pad, and length. I was surprised that I fit on it lengthwise, to be honest with you. I mean, once you curl up just a little bit, how I tend to sleep, I was totally on the pad, and the way that it's shaped around the shoulders, I had no issues with that either. The extra added benefit is I don't need to bring an air pump with this. I don't need to bring one with the Nemo tensor either, but I choose to because it's a long, wide pad and it's just so easy to plug it in and have it going. But this with the stuff sack, 4 or 5 breaths and this thing's ready to go. So that saves another item that I don't have to bring. So yeah, we'll get this thing set up and then we'll pull out the quilt. 5 breaths. So this is the Neve Waratah quilt, 28 degree. Got this in the long. It's my first time using a quilt, and honestly, I am in love with it. I roll around so much, and I wasn't sure how it would go, to be honest with you. I wasn't sure it would keep me warm, but when I saw this system, how it clips in, it actually really works well. I've brought this thing down to 39 and I was fine. Well, now that I'm all settled in, got some food in me, I've readjusted my hammock here, and I'm not a pretzel. The weather has definitely shifted. That cold air has moved in. Like I said earlier, it was 87 degrees the last couple days. So the change has started, but it's perfect napping weather. It's been a long morning. I'm gonna take a little siesta. I'm telling you, this quilt is a game changer. A pillow. Quilt is just a blanket. That wind changed and it got cold. I did not expect to have to put my layers on at 2 o'clock. But yeah, got rid of the bugs, that's for sure. And now I am so cozy. Like, I'm falling asleep. Well, what do you say we go do a little exploring before it's time for dinner? There's a couple rock sections over there that I haven't been to yet. They look pretty behemoth size. So I kind of want to go check that out. So as I mentioned maybe earlier, I've been spending a lot of time out at Acadia National Park hiking and camping, and you know, staying at the campground is great for testing some new gear. For example, that quilt, being able to see how far I can push it, how many layers I need, what temperature am I going to be comfortable at. So I guess what I'm trying to get at here is bringing that Sea to Summit sleeping pad out on a backpacking trip for its first use may not have been the brightest move, especially with like springtime where temps can fluctuate so much. I mean, everything will be fine, but look at this view behind me. It's just, it would have been a lot easier to kind of dial everything in had I been at a campground. So our campsite tonight is just over my left shoulder there. And you can see out to all of these rocks right from camp. And at low tide, this turns into just a whole bed of, you've got rock and seaweed on it. It looks pretty amazing like everything else out here, but the sheer size of all of this rock and the vastness of the ocean, it's really hard to get across until you stand right here. It's almost that same feeling that you get when you stand over a cliff, like your body just knows something bigger is going on. It's exhilarating. I don't know if you can make out that little strip of land right there, but I'm pretty sure that's Grand Manan Island. You can take a ferry out there. It's supposed to be really good birding. But yeah, that's Canada. And there's another campsite over here too that I haven't yet to explore. I'd like to check that out. I'll have to see how far it is from here. Just incredible views this whole day, really. Whether you're in the forest or out on these coastal expanses, like, oh, there's the sign, Ferryhead 3. Let's go check that out. Ferryhead 3. That is a nice site. You've got shelter from the wind with all of this back here. Good access to the ocean. Awesome rock scrambles that you can go play around on. So many places to just explore out here. I wish I knew more about the geology, because these rocks, they don't look like any coastline that I've come across before. The rocks are so jagged, so gnarly. I don't know if it's caused by like rapid heating and cooling or what. Well, let's go explore our rocks a little bit. You know, I had some big plans for Milky Way photography tonight. Unless all of this blows out, which I guess it could, but I'm not banking on it, that's for sure. It seems like whenever you're on the coast like this, all the moisture just builds over the sea. So yeah, I don't know if Milky Way is gonna be in the cards for us, but we're gonna go check out some of these rocks and you'll see what I'm talking about with the jaggedness that I mentioned earlier. Look at those rocks. It looks like there's a little flat section right over here. Kind of want to go explore that. Yeah, I think we can just get right down there and see what this rock looks like from the other side of it. Oh yeah, look at that. Man, I could sit there and watch that all day. But now I've just got to make my way back up. No problem. Wind's calming down a little bit. Clouds are blowing out. They're not blowing out that way, but at least we're clearing up overhead. Maybe we'll see some stars. I'm not sold on the Milky Way, but maybe we'll get some stars. Nice cup of hot chocolate. I'm gonna eat my desserts and enjoy the rest of the evening. Yeah, just gonna hang out, watch the sunset, listen to the waves, listen to the birds. Keep an eye out for whales. Still haven't seen any whales. A couple diving birds, that's been cool. Anyway, I'll see you in the morning. We'll find out how that sleeping pad sleeps. Oh, I just poked my head out. Fell asleep for an hour. There's an amazing sunset going on. What a surprise that was. Literally went to bed at like, I don't know, 6:50 and woke up to just this glow around my tent. That's awesome. And you know, it's starting to be clear out now too. Milky Way core should be right here around 1 in the morning. Thought I was gonna get some sleep tonight. I gotta charge up my batteries and be prepared for tonight. Incredible sunset.
good morning. The birds are singing, the sun is starting to rise, but I'm not getting out of this cocoon yet.
So I've tried a couple different brands of instant coffee. I found the Starbucks is the best, but it still has that weird like instant coffee taste. So I've been adding hot chocolate to it, and that seems to make a big difference in just like mellowing out that instant coffee flavor. And then I always bring one of these little coffee mates. Oh, that is so good. The mixture of the hot chocolate and the instant coffee. The coffee mate to top it off, that's so much better than just instant coffee. So the sleeping pad and the quilt both passed with flying colors last night. I'm really impressed with this pad. At 6'2" to be comfortable on a regular length sleeping pad, I was surprised. And as far as like heat loss, I didn't experience any. It was comfortable. I blew it up all the way. The thing was durable. I was in and out of my tent all night last night. The Milky Way ended up coming out. You've probably seen those photos by now. It's a bummer that there was one strip of cloud basically stopping us from getting the full expanse of the Milky Way all the way down to the horizon. But gosh, I'm not complaining. Between that and the sunset, we really scored photography-wise. But the pad, I can recommend this pad, absolutely. I bet it got down to about 41 last night, and it was nice, honestly. It got a little chilly at the time that it always gets chilly, right? 3:30 in the morning, 4 in the morning, it gets cold. If I had had a jacket and I had brought gloves, I wouldn't have had any problem at all. The pad and the quilt did their job, so that's really exciting going forward. Got down to 36. That's impressive for that sleeping pad and that quilt combo. I wouldn't push it any further than that. But again, like I said at the beginning, if I had a jacket and I had some gloves, no problem. Well, folks, that is me all packed up. It has been such an incredible trip. We scored on the Milky Way. We scored on some new gear. We got some amazing views. So you could do this trail as a loop and take the rest of the woodland trail back to the vehicle. I'm gonna do it as an out and back. There's no reason for me not to go get all those views into the sun that we got yesterday. So thanks for coming with me. I hope you enjoyed the scenery, and I'll catch you in the next one.